What is up, legends? We are back, and as you can see in the video, what I'm gonna do is real quick is we're gonna talk a little bit about how progress works and guides and how progress works in this game. So this video isn't gonna be that long, maybe 10-15 minutes, because I want to explain it so people understand how to make progression easier for themselves. All right, so the very first thing you need to understand, in most games, especially gacha, is that all of the game systems work off of a gear score in some way, shape, or form. So, for example, the game expects you to be at, like, say, 3,000 gear score for something. And if you're around that, then the odds will be in your favor that you will take down the content. If you're under that, the odds will be against you for various reasons. Gear score will be the combination of all of what the character actually has. So, what's this? 2 week and oh, I'm not going to use any of this. I'll take that though. So with that being said, let's go over to our characters and I'll explain why I do certain things I did. And this question is because somebody said you make it look effortlessly going through the dungeon, you're not really struggling, and your characters are built a certain way. And then he said, I've been encouraged not to level my characters to 60, and I had to put my head down and I had to give him the speech. First of all, that is bad information. It just is. The game encourages, all games encourage. What that really is trying hard for no reason to be trying. It's like you're making it hard mode for yourself for no reason. At the end of the day, that's why you see all these characters right here. Granted, I'm a battle pass person, so there's that, but you see all the characters that I use. We're going down the line. These characters are 60. You go to 60, you go to the cap. You not make it harder for yourself. Again, like I said, everybody should be teaching, because I see a lot of people saying that, hey, leave your characters 50 to be fine. Bullshit. No, don't do that. You want your max potential, you need to be at that 3,000 gear score. We're just using that as an example. That's not what the gear score number is in this game. They don't show it. It exists. It's in every gacha game that has some type of engine. This game has an engine too. Same thing in Epic 7. Epic 7 has it too. Epic 7 is harsher if you're not around that, and your characters will literally be red. They're like, yo dog, you 100k power, it'd be red, and like, you ain't supposed to win this. You could, but it's harder for no reason. like just get your power up. This game is the same way. Again, they don't show it, but this game is the same way. So what I essentially do is I don't like wasting time. That's the biggest thing for me in these type of games. You guys know I play thousands of games. Sometimes I play hundreds of games at the same time. I have 5 games open right now while I'm doing this video that I'm playing. I got a Duet Night Abyss in the background, watching forging, so I can keep forging on time without spending anything for that. I got Sword of Justice running around auto questing, so I can do that. Now I got Where Winds Meet on right now. I have Ever Crisis on right now because I need to farm the lightning event. And then this game, I don't have time to be wasting trying to hard mode this game for no reason, like, because I'm underpowered. So every character come in, what you want to do is you want to start one at a time, because you can't do them all at the same time. That's not going to be efficient. So you start one at a time. You make sure that your character's level 60. You make sure that your partner, whatever partner you're going to use on the character, is level 60 as well. This character, I mean, this partner is like, it's like she's made for her, because it allows her to draw attack cards. She is an attack user. She has the AoE and then the stacks on the attack and everything else. Perfect. Great. Yeah, your potential, as you can see, I've done everything, maxed everything. We got the critical chance, we have the critical damage going on. What that did is, as you saw last video, when she gets the crits, they dead, basically. So if I am underpowered in a fight, which you are at level 7, no, at level 6 on in most dungeons, you're gonna start to be underpowered because you can't go any higher, and it starts to get 65, 70, 75, 80, that type of stuff. So why would you go on level 50 if you're already going to be behind? I see a lot of people doing that, and I watched somebody, I not necessarily mentored them, but I've sat down with them and looked at their account. They had like 50, 55. And so I was like, first of all, why are you in here like that. And he's like, well, I was encouraged so I can build more stuff. No, I was like, no, 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 sir. No, sir. No, sir. You need account carries. I don't know where you got that from, but cut that ish out. Like, you got resources right now, level this character. He had Yuki. Like, you see my Yuki level 50? No, sir. You go to 60. You see my partner level 50? No, sir. You go to 60. You see all this right here? You build all these characters out. And I sat with the person while they cleared the content. With that one character, they built that one character. They had the resources. They built this one character right here and started clapping. I'm sitting there with him, watching him in Discord while he's doing it. I wasn't paid to do this. I don't do that because I don't like that. I just don't. I'm not going to go against anybody else who's doing that. Me personally, I don't like that. If somebody coming to me for help in gaming, I'm just gonna help. Like, I can't do it all the time with everybody, but the person was questioning why I was doing stuff, and I was just showing him why I was doing things. And we're both sharing our screens back and forth, and he's seeing what I'm doing. And then he's like, oh, and then he went and got a tank. He didn't have Amir built up, but he had Kalepi. He used her and used the same way that I use Amir, and he had her at 50. He started pushing her towards 60. He was like, yo, this is way easier. Why aren't people talking about it? I was like, because it's not popular. I say this every time in all these games. Tank, DPS, healer will always be the meta. It will always be better. It will always be easier because you control the fight. If you're doing anything else outside of that, unless it has some type of broken ass synergy, it is not going to be better. You are doing it harder, 100%. Like, something's going to happen and clap you, especially if you're using 2 DPSs. If you're using DPS support or something else, the game is designed to clap your face. Like 25% of the time we do. I know we don't play clap. I clap stuff. You give me them cheeks. I don't like pause. Talking about the bites, the bosses, because somebody will be in the comment section acting up. I'm not in and out. But like I'm the one who's going to be clapping. I'm the one who's going to be getting out this content and going to do something else. I'm no failed runs. No, F that. Take like a half hour to do a run. I'm not doing like you do like 5 runs in a day and fail half of them. That's an hour and a half of your time going because you want to be you want to be spicy and different and be double DPS and the healer and get smacked because something is tanky. Absolutely not. Like, so with all of that, you make sure that you got all this done. You make sure all your gear is max and rolled properly. This is do your best right here because you can't control this all the time. It's going to roll how it's going to roll. Like you saw the other day, I tried rolling a certain way and it didn't go that way. The game was like, nah, we ain't doing that today. You're going to have to try again tomorrow. So I was like, all right, try again tomorrow. But I did my best. And then whatever dupes you can actually get into. So what ends up happening, let's say if you're 2,500 out of that 3,000, that's just an example again. The reason you would win is for certain things. If it's in a straight up fight with you doing DPS and tanking and healing and everything else like that, and then the boss doing that, you're going to lose. What makes you win in those type of things is turn skip or shielding. Or if you have a synergy that allows you to actually attack multiple times in one turn and keep the action meter down on the enemies, that allows you to do that. What happens when you're weaker than the set gear score is you have less leeway. You're now doing less damage in that turn skip. You're now doing less shielding. You now have less defense and less HP, which means the boss hits you harder, which means you have now shrinking chances of actually doing that. You see where I'm going with that? You see how it's all math, basically. And guys, remember, I'm also a game dev too, working on the game, and I've looked at hundreds of game engines, all the game engines that all these games make, the same game engine that this game actually uses, and everything else like this. I already know what these systems are doing, and essentially what happens is it's just all about math. If something is attacking you with your 218 defense, is that high enough at that gear score to actually make it so that you don't get smacked in the face? Remember, attack to defense, if your defense is not high enough, you're doing maybe even the computer's doing either double or triple damage. I don't know what the ratio is because I'm not a hacker. I'm not going to go in to the game and try to figure that out. I know plenty of people have probably, but I'm just not going to do that. But that's usually how it goes. And then you put that together with, see the first three stats right there. You get attacked, and then your defense high enough to not have it be like a double or triple attack. Now you put that against your health. How high is your health to actually take that hit? The lower these stats are, the more you're on the on the negative side of being in a disadvantage situation. The higher that is, the more you're going to be on the positive side in that situation, which means that if things happen, you're probably going to win that interaction. And that goes forward. Then you throw into the critical chance and the critical damage. Now on those turn skips and that synergy with the double attacks and everything else, you have a chance of doing double or triple damage on top of whatever your skills and your cards are actually doing. You want to stack the advantages in your favor. You don't want it to be any place where the computer can be like, oh, now we're putting stress on you now. Now we're putting these cards out onto you now. Now we're going to make it so that your cards are poisoned. Now we're going to make it so that maybe anxiety popped up. Do you have enough shielding? Do you have enough healing? If you're a healer, aka Mika or Nia or Aurea, if it's Aurea, or I think Ray can actually do it too. She's more of a DPS healer, but she can still do it. If they are all weak and they're level 50 and they're not geared, guess where your run's going? Yep. So again, you go down, you start figuring out. You see, I have her at this, and I don't even have her at optimal because, again, I let this roll where it's going to roll. Preferably, I want HP on this stuff. It just rolled to attack, and not this rolled on health, but and I don't think this can roll anything else besides defense, right? So it can roll health, so we can get health on that too. Preferably, I want to on that. I know she don't need to be doing DPS. I need her to actually live, basically. So if she does actually get focused, there's more health out there for the whole team and stuff like that. She gets less stress because she's the stress reliever. Or her save data. She literally has a card that when you change it epiphany wise, it'll change and take stress away, along with all the other things that she does that kind of like helps out with that as well. So you just want that, and then she can give you back AP and other type of stuff. She has a card that is amazing with shielding as well, where she can actually get, it has to turn into this, by the way, but it's amazing with this as well, because if you're at full health, which sometimes you are, it will actually overshield that on full health, and then compared based off of the heal, like, you know, AP resource consuming with this card and everything else like that. Like, it's just an amazing card. This is probably one of her best cards when it comes to that. Everything else is great. Except maybe Whirlpool. What's Whirlpool? Whirlpool says do 240, but she's not really a DPS, so it kind of like is what it is. It kind of is what it is. But you definitely want to get Whirlpool out, because again, 1 to 6 on the stress relief. You just always want to make use of that to prolong your runs. I know people kind of meme on Whirlpool, but Whirlpool is a lot better than you give it credit for. Usually they just don't understand how to use the character properly at the end of the day when they're memeing on it. But she literally will make your run last longer, make it so that you deal with stress less, which is amazing. Like you see, she's just always on the team until they get nobody else really works like her. You can get healers out and stuff like that, but that means you're going to deal with anxiety more. And I hate that, because it usually always happens at the worst possible time. And then you figure out what you can do with all your gear. Now, in runs, you obviously got to put this together, but you could put stuff together outside of that. So I know she's going to get hit. She's going to mark somebody. She's going to increase damage if against targets they haven't acted with mutated order. And at the start of the round, she's going to nuke. It's 200% fixed damage to everybody. So she's just automatically going to do that off the bat when you start the fight. So that helps weaken for whatever DPS you got going on right there. So you just want to have your characters all kind of work like that. This is all Stacking the odds in your favor. Crimson Sword right here, when attacking somebody, no matter where she attacks, a Crimson Sword, I'm always putting Crimson Sword on her because she's going to agony. She AoE attacks a lot, so she stacks the agony, so it's just damage all the way down. Again, stacking the odds in your favor to help out. You got your defense right there at the end of a turn. If there's no shield or somehow you don't have anything up, she's just going to make a shield. At the start of the battle, that just lowers the cost. Again, stuff to make it so that you can spam out, that you can make things easier on yourself, that you're putting things in your favor. You're going to see me say that a lot. Miss Queen put stuff in your favor. Let me introduce you to the power of Amir. All right, so we also have the agony right there because she will also AoE, and she counterattacks, and you can make it so that she counterattacks a lot. Start the battle of fixed shield. Again, she is a defense shielder, and anything shield that you put on her will be optimal for her because that's just the way her character is. Then you have Quantum Collector right here. When an ally, that is a misspelling, uses an upgrade card, increases the damage, shield, and heal amounts by 20% for one turn. So if anybody, which, you know, obviously she is going to do that, so that works very well with her. So as far as her kit, you change hovering metal into this because what this is going to do is give you counter attack and then reduce the card to 0. As you guys can see, that makes it amazing, and you just automatically get that damage reduction. Keep that damage reduction in mind. You have Metal Pierce right here, which is going to throw out a vulnerability, which also helps the defense and everything else like that. You have Extraction, the same thing. It's going to give you, you turn it into this, by the way, it gives you Resolve, which helps defense, and then reduces the enemy count, which is amazing to help you get extra card or attack out. You have Full Metal Hurricane. Now, what's cool about this is when you do this for the rest of the fight, what ends up happening when she counterattacks, she does Full Metal Hurricane every time. Now, remember, we have that Fury Sword on that will give agony. So every time that you have counterattack out, she's going to give agony to everything on the screen. Then you have Iron Skin. The damage applied to 200% defense and attack. This is an exhaust card, so once it's out, it's just out. You need to make sure that you're going to use it in the proper situation. As you guys can see, it's going to reduce damage 20% by each metallization. So as much metallization that you have there, you ultimately can end up negating damage for a whole round. So if a boss is going to do a big, like, 50 to 60%, sometimes 70 damage attack, you can say, no, you're not. Just no. And then you see more counter attack right there with hand-to-hand combat, and then damage, crystallization for more defense. Everything that she does right now sets up her kit. And if you don't have something available, you can get up again. We have a shield right here. You get 1 AP back, so we get an AP battery a little bit. She has Spike Shield, which will help destroy and leave them vulnerable. And then you have Fortitude. Now, what I see with a lot of people doing is they'll lower their kits to deal with, so they can get obviously some more DPS and stuff out and stuff like that. I don't do that. I put useful stuff in the character kit that works with the character. Basically, I want the character to be able to adjust to all situations. I want them to be, if there's a situation where I'm getting hit too much, then no, I'm not, because I got Amir cards to save my ass. I got stuff I can break their defense. I got shields. This will basically give me a shield right now, and they get a shield in the next turn. This will basically do kind of the same thing. If there's no shield, increase shield by 100%, counter attack, and then increase the shield in this card again. No, we got an epiphany on that. That's why this one ended up being an amazing run, because she's perfect like this. She's literally perfect like this. Everything happened the way that it needed to happen. This probably never happened again, because it almost never does happen again this way. But if I can get something better, then I will try. But this ended up amazing. Then you have the energy barrier right here, which is kind of like a throwaway, but again, this is handling all situations. Basically, if there's a situation when I can't attack, it's fine. I'll just shield myself, and then I'll recover between Amir and Mika. And this what this also does is if I lose anybody to an anxiety, basically, which will probably be like Mika or maybe like my DPS or something like that, I can handle that because she'll be counterattacking, doing damage, and then having agony up. So she's still going to be whittling down the boss, and she's going to be stemming the tide while I get enough cards to push out basically the anxiety on whatever character it is. And then at DPS, the same theory remains. You get cards that go along with what the character has. You see right here, I would love to have maneuver and fire, but it end up more with ambush, and I'm fine with ambush. Because you can set up the break. You see, I already have Amir that works with break and knocking things out and getting stuff down. So then ambush comes up, and then you got like a GG. Or ambush also will also pop out with maneuver and fire in the beginning. So you get like this nuke that goes together with military grade grenade. And what ends up happening when you use fire preparation, which we always got giant ballista on deck. So whenever she does that, she's going to nuke with military grenade. So, and on top of that, at the end of the round, when you hit go, like, you're done with the round, she's going to use giant ballista on top of maneuver and fire. In most cases, most AoE and AoE mobs, they're cooked. First round, they're cooked. It's GG. Now you get to bosses, what ends up happening is ambush is going to pop out because long as it's already in the deck, it's going to pop up back to back, and then you just get damage down. And if you have good stats on your Veronica, she's just going to cave stomp. I guess not cave stomp, curb stomp. Where cave came from? Anyway, we good on that. I got good attack, good critical chance and damage. Obviously, I would like to have a little bit better critical. Kind of, I guess it doesn't matter. It's about the same thing. Her crit damage is kind of like not high, but we'll work on that when we can later. And the same type of thing, you want to get as much good gear on as you can. Let's see, we want crit damage over here as well. And then potential is not as good as hers, but that's because I just want to focus on once I get her up properly, we'll do that. But I'm doing one at a time. The next up is finishing out Amir. We need to finish out getting Amir up to where she needs to actually be. Yeah, so hopefully this will get you guys in. This is the same thing I told the person yesterday, and I literally watched them start smoking content, and they went and called their friends and got. It's kind of cool when you see when it click. There's somebody who's like, dude, people aren't saying this stuff. Why are people like? Outlet because what's popular is like DPS, rub your face into it, and then if you lose, just come back because you still get credit. The hell with that. Win all the time. How about that? How about we do that? Win all the time. I'm going to teach y'all win all the time, not win half the damn time, because you want to be edgy and have like Rin and Yuki. Rin and Yuki do not belong on the same team. That does not work. And the main reason I was the weird thing about that is, you guys remember when I said I want to do team swordsman and have Rin and Yuki out there. You can't have Rin, Yuki in the mirror. That definitely won't work. But I wanted Rin and Yuki out there, but that doesn't work because she needs setup with her stance. And the minute you do anything else besides what she has, all of her stance stuff goes away. It's not going to work. Like they counteract each other. They just can't be on the same team. It's just not going to go well. It's sad. I wish I could, because it would be a very cool team to see you work together, but they just don't. Like kit wise, they don't. It's like you're throwing. Sadly, they're just really throwing like that. So I don't have any summons right now. Sadly, we just out here playing for the most part. Guardian Art, do that. Hey, I can use that. Don't have any summons, so no summons today. I do have these. Yeah, no summons. We're not using any currency. Do I have any of this? Nah. That's all I got. Hopefully this will help you out. Make it so you're not wasting your time and going through runs and kind of being big sad, like, damn, what happened? What happened? My run's over. Hopefully, this will clear up a lot of your runs and allow you to just, enjoy the game freely. I be chilling in this game. I go in the dungeon and just be sitting there doing some other stuff like, oh, I got to attack, do my attack, and go do something else. Oh, got to do this, do something. It's crazy. It's easy. And she makes stuff a lot easier as well. She's just a really good character. She took over from my main DPS because she just works, and unless I need like maybe an elemental advantage, but she's basically the one who's doing all the DPS. So she's a really good character. If you haven't gotten her yet, just get her. She takes a little bit once you get all your cards together and everything else like that. And I don't even have an optimal build on her right now for what I want. This is okay. Not exactly what I want. Ultimately, what I would want is I want to prepare to subdue. That's what I really want. On two of those, and then maybe 2 flash strikes, and then that's fine. So I ended up with 2 pulverizers because pulverize is really amazing. Then you can take advantage of Sacred Strike as well, because that actually does a lot of damage, 220% damage, and then you get the tenacity damage too. It does a lot off of one thing. Like, you just come out there and just smack something in the face, and I'm like, brother, why you so mean? I mean, what you mean, lady? Maybe even freezing blade to get a double of that and make that come up more, because it usually doesn't come up a lot. But yeah, we good out here. So I'll catch you guys next video. Be legendary, and yeah, see you in game. Also, take your time. Take your time. Build these characters up one by one. Don't be too stressed about it. Don't try to keep up with everybody. Keep your pace. You're seeing whales do whatever. It's fine. We're all going to end up in the same spot at the end of the day anyway. So you'll be all right. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I love everybody who stops by. You guys always make my day with your comments. It's always funny and whimsical and gives me a reason to keep going. So be legendary, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.